everybody, it is one and only currently Tony, and today we have a very special guest. He is a very famous man. His name is Tony Berba. He's a famous dating expert. He's a life coach. He's an entrepreneur, and he's a famous businessman and a famous celebrity on YouTube. Hi, Johnny. Thank you very much for being with us, and it's an honor to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks for having me on. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Johnny, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I try and make it short. Basically, I suffered many years with social anxiety and shyness, which I didn't realize was a mental illness. So I struggled at school. I struggled in life. I was very shy about people judging me, very scared of making eye contact, and I didn't have much confidence in myself for the first 15 or 20 years of my life. And when I got to my mid 20s, I got very depressed, and I decided I've had enough of living like this and being scared all the time. I'm gonna start taking action and confronting my fears. And I started off by just practicing talking to women so I could improve my confidence with women. I wanted to get a girlfriend. So once I started to practice, that's when I really found what worked for me and what I believe works for everyone, which is the way that you build your confidence is by facing your fears and doing it regularly, practicing. And the more you practice things, the better you get at them. And it doesn't matter if you fail as long as you keep going. So everything is learned through doing it, and then it's about the motivation. So that's what I did. And then eventually I started putting videos on YouTube. A lot of people liked my videos, and then the videos kind of went all around the world. They got quite known in the industry, and then I started teaching people, one-on-one groups. I started doing talks, and here I am now. But I made this story short. There were some challenges along the way. There will be challenges for everyone, but that's what makes you a strong person, and that's what enables you to help other people. So that's the story in a short version.
Wow, that's really great. So, Johnny, today you are going to inspire people to learn languages. So, my first question is people start learning, but they lose motivation, they lose inspiration. So, how to find most motivation when we are learning a second language?
I think the key to begin with for motivation is for people to really think about the positive benefits that they're going to get if they stick at language. I want them to focus on what they're going to gain out of it, because usually people lose motivation when they think, well, I'm not going to gain anything out of this. Why should I work hard? But if they focus on what they're going to gain, which is going to be changing their life and improving their language skills and feeling good about themselves, that should give them a lot of motivation. The second thing I want people to focus on, think about what you're going to lose and the negative consequences that you're going to experience if you don't stick at your dreams and your goals. In this case, it's language skills for the people that we want to inspire. So if they don't practice French or Russian or Spanish because they think it's difficult, or they allow themselves to tell them, well, I'm just not good at language. That's not a good attitude to have, because no one's good at something until they do it regularly. So practice is the key. Focusing on the goal and what they're going to gain and who they're going to become as a person. You're going to be a better person for learning language and getting good at it. And you're going to get to meet people. Think about the benefits. They're going to meet people. They're going to improve their life. So that's the best tip I can give at this point.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's what I see. People just start to do something and they don't know the benefits and the losses, the pros and cons, and then they lose motivation. And that's really a great thing, if they are aware of the benefits that they can get, they can really be motivated. That's great. And also, you said that practice makes a man perfect. Practice is very important.
100%. Honestly, I
So,
promise I mean this. Any person, no matter how bad they are, how scared they are, how much they think they're not good at something, if anyone practices something for 6 weeks consecutively, they will be so much better at it. But loads of people don't practice because they allow the negative voice in their head to say, I'm not good enough, or he's better than me, they're better than me. It's not true. They're only better than you because they practice more. You can be better than them or the same as them. You have to practice, and you should enjoy practice, and you should enjoy the challenge of practice. if you want to be successful and you want to succeed in anything, language being what we're talking about today, but it's the same philosophy for anything in life. You keep doing it and you get better, you know. And at the start, if you're not good and you're struggling with the language and you can't get it, you just be patient. Just be patient. It's okay to fail. You have to fail to get things right, learn, and then you get it right. Yeah, perseverance, patience, sticking with it, and enjoy it. Don't take it so serious. It doesn't have to be serious all the time. Even though you're passionate about your language or what you want to achieve, find make it fun. Language is fun. Language can be boring if we make it. It can be fun. There's many things that language can be. So, and get around people that are better than you at what you want to learn. So, if you want to learn English and you're a non-English speaker, then get around English people and learn from them. Or if you're a Russian speaker and you want to learn American, then get around American people. You know, use your common sense, use your brain. Everyone has one. You know, make it simple, and then it will work.
Yeah, wow, that's great. Yeah, that is true. Like the more we practice, the better we get, and the more we surround ourselves with the people who speak that language, it really helps us. And it reminds me of a famous quote by you that I always remember, that is, failure equals success.
100%. It's not
Yeah.
my quote, though, I have to say. It's Les
Uh,
Brown's, one
let's
of
bounce
my
quote.
favorite mentors. But
Yeah.
I've used it a lot, and people have got to know it through me, which is good. But he changed my life. So when I heard him say that, it made me realize when I'm failing, I'm not actually failing. I'm about to succeed. I'm learning. Yeah, yes, we fail sometimes. That is the truth, you know. But it's not forever. It's temporary. We keep going. We figure it out, you know. Today, I failed straight away to get the Skype started with you because I couldn't get into my account. We didn't panic. I succeeded. Now I've set up a new Skype account. Here we are. If I panic and say, "Oh, I can't get the Skype on, this is a terrible thing, I've let you down, I'm this person, I'm useless," that's not going to get me anywhere. So it is about building a positive attitude. And I think that takes a little bit of time for people to build up a positive attitude towards life and towards themselves and towards what they want to do. But with practice, everything can be achieved.
Oh, well, that's great. So the next question is, people, they deny things, they delay them and they procrastinate. So how to stop procrastination?
Well, my honest opinion might be different to most. You've got to sometimes go through some pain because when people procrastinate, they don't want to face their fears and their talents and they don't want to face the world. They don't want to be disturbed. They don't want their peace. But when you hide and procrastinate, you get a bit of peace for a while, but then you get the darkness after, the depression. You judge yourself, you don't feel good. So sometimes people have got to go through that. They've got to go through a very negative time in their life to realize, no, no, I can't be here anymore. I can't be not revising my exams. I can't be, you know, putting off my language studies and avoiding it because it's difficult. And through sometimes difficulty, the best motivation is found. So that's helped me the most. That's helped a lot of the guys I've worked with. A second tip, what they can do is they can go online and find mentors like what we're doing. And they can find someone that can give them some words of encouragement or inspiration so they can not feel like they're on their own. Because a lot of times when people procrastinate, it's because they feel they're on their own. No one cares about them. What's the point? No one understands me. But there's always people out there that care about you and who are doing the same as you. So find like-minded people, you know, and then you'll get more motivated to come out of procrastination. But I wouldn't say procrastination is bad all the time, because sometimes a little bit is healthy. You know, you don't want to be perfect, but not too much procrastination where you isolate yourself. So people need to ask for help. They need to communicate with their families, their friends, their community, their schools, university, because we can't always do it on our own. I can't. We need help. We need a bit of someone to help us. So the help's out there. People have got to ask for it, and then you'll come out of this procrastination, this feeling that I don't want to do it. I just want to ignore it. I want to watch movies. I want to eat chocolate. I don't want to do my language studies or my
Mhm,
business. We've got to
mhm.
change that conversation and say, I want to do it. I want the challenge of it. I want to do the language. I'm excited. It's difficult, but I want to try this. I want to stick at it. I want to become great at something. I don't want to be just give up in life and be a person who just accepts normal. I want to be great. And as Les Brown said, if you want to be great at something, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great. So
Wow.
people have got to lift themselves out of that thing. And I was very honest with people, and I'm very good at it, very disciplined because I never used to be. I used to procrastinate a lot, so I know how they're feeling, but they can get out of it and start really having what I call a become fearless mindset, where they want to take on life, take on challenges instead of going, I can't face it. People are better than they think they are. They can face it. They can do it, and they can do it very well.
Wow, wow, that's great. Yeah, like as it is said that pain is temporary and glory is forever. So
100%.
so we have to, go through some pain. Although it feels hard and difficult, but we have to go through that. Okay, all right,
100%.
that's great. Yeah. So my next question is how to overcome shyness and be confident.
Well, that's a good question. It's the same principles that I've just explained throughout this interview. It's you've got to want to do it. You've got to want to take challenge. I would say for someone who's severely shy, you do it gradually down because when someone's shy, it can feel very scary for them to get around people. So you just slowly start practicing talking to people. I would encourage people that have got severe shyness to find an event, a meet-up group, where they can get around people and get some support, and then they can build some confidence. And once a person gets a little bit of confidence and a little bit of progress, they'll be more motivated to want to get a little bit more. It's like a video game. Level one is not so hard. It's a little
Mhm,
bit of a challenge. If you do
mhm,
level one, you think, okay, I'll
mhm,
try level two. Level 10s is too hard to start with. So you
mhm.
build and eventually level 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've got to practice. Shy
Okay.
people have got to practice talking regularly. I was a shy person.
Mhm.
I was shy for many years. I'm still a little bit introverted, but I practice regularly talking. So they want to practice. And if they can't do it on their own, they want to get some help. They want to get some therapy or a mentor or a coach or a support group or friends
Mhm.
or an online community. They need some support. So they're not on their own. And there's loads of support today. And a lot of support, thankfully, is free. You don't have to like pay loads of money. If people don't have much money or they're on a budget, there's a lot of stuff for free. There's a lot of stuff free. And I do a lot of videos on my channel. It's all free to help more with the shyness and so they can get the confidence. But the language, um, learning a language will actually help overcome the shyness because you've got to learn to communicate with people with the language that you're wanting to improve on and speak. So that's a great excuse for a shy person to get better. Learn a language because then you've got to communicate with others. So
Wow, that's great. Yeah, we have to face the fear and keep doing whatever it is that we have to do to just overcome the shyness. And the more we do it, the more we become confident. That's great. Anyway, I often notice that when people when they learn any skill or anything at all, they make mistakes, and they think mistakes make them, not like they make mistakes, and then they judge themselves, and they think mistakes are very bad things. So what do you think about mistakes? Like, is it okay to make mistakes?
oh, it's 100% okay to make mistakes. I mean, no one's perfect here. Without mistakes, we wouldn't, what would we be? There wouldn't be an economy, there wouldn't be a world. So obviously, we don't want to make mistakes. Of course not. We want to do something right. But it's inevitable that you're going to make some mistakes. As long as you learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then it's stupidity. It's not intelligent.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
smart.
Yeah.
Because if you keep doing something wrong and people tell you, look, you're doing the wrong thing here, then that's your problem. But we must try, everyone does it. I'm guilty of it. We all do. We must try not to judge ourselves so harshly when we make a mistake because to do great things, it's going to be difficult and you are going to make mistakes. But with practice, and awareness and intelligence, you can learn, oh, I made a mistake because I done that wrong, and next time I'm not going to do that. So mistakes make you great. I made loads of mistakes. That's how I became successful. I made a ton. When I first done a public talk, I couldn't speak to the audience. I couldn't get my words out, and I was embarrassed and I felt defeated. But I didn't quit. I went away and said, no, I'm going to do the next talk next week, another one, and I'd done another one. I got a little bit better, and then after 10 talks, I was, fantastic at speaking in front of an audience. So it's not letting the mistakes defeat you, because mistakes are in the same category as rejections. They make us, don't take it personal. And sometimes you've got to put a motivational tape on by Anthony Robbins or Les Brown or some of the famous speakers, so they can Steve Jobs, so they can tell you they made mistakes too. Because people think, I'm not good. I made a mistake. I'm no good. They need to not get into that victim mentality. So discipline, working on your mindset, and you know just not caring as much. And look forward to getting it right. If we make a mistake in life, okay, how can we, as quick as possible, have a chance again so we don't make that mistake? I know it sounds silly, but when you're younger, if you were rude to your parents or you were rude to someone and your mum said, "Hey, don't speak to people like that," or "Don't speak to me like that," that's really rude. And then you realize that you were rude. That's not good. The next time the scenario comes up, you remember that don't speak to people like that, and then you be polite. So long as you learn from your mistakes, then there's no problem.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's what I see. Like, uh, you make mistakes, but your mistakes don't make you.
Yeah,
And that is it. Like, they're just mistakes. We learn from them and we move on.
yeah.
All right.
Who hasn't
Yeah.
made mistakes? Everyone's made mistakes in their life. Everyone has. No one's perfect. Even very good people have people, and we all make mistakes on a daily basis. But we just try and get better each time and reduce the mistakes.
Because it is not a perfect world.
No, it's not a perfect world at all.
Okay, all right. And when people make mistakes, they are afraid of the embarrassment from people, society, relatives, friends. So how to overcome this embarrassment?
That's a good question, and that's a difficult question for me to answer right now. I've got to give that a little bit more thought, but I'll do the best to answer it as honestly as I can right now. And I think it's not easy, but I think again, you've got to accept that you feel embarrassed. You can't change that, and you've got to move on as quick as you can and keep moving forward in life, because it's not going to last forever. I'm so many things happened to me when I was young at school that I was so embarrassed about. I'm not embarrassed to tell you now anymore because I've moved on. So through time, as long as people are moving forward, because it wouldn't, the embarrassment we feel, we think is going to last forever, but it will eventually go, and everyone gets embarrassed at one point. You're human, but just do the best you can um, to practice your confidence, so next time you won't feel as embarrassed in that place. But I think again, it's not nice. People don't want to hear it, but sometimes you've got to go through these things to get stronger as a person. If you don't get embarrassed, and just don't let it break you. Don't think your life's over because you got embarrassed in a social situation, or you made a mistake at school, or you said the wrong thing, or people laughed at you, because people can be nasty sometimes. People can be great, they can be kind, and everyone's had it in their life. So just remember, you're not different. Everyone got embarrassed. I mean, I've got embarrassed loads of times and stuff, but don't let it defeat you. Keep going, keep moving forward, and value yourself. The more self-confidence you have, the less you're going to judge yourself for getting embarrassed. So yeah, that's it really.
Wow, that's really great. And how to stop this self-talk in our head? The little person that speaks to us in a negative, nasty way. How to stop that?
Right. We need to interrupt it with a practical habit. So gym, working out. I know it sounds different. If people want to get better at language studies and speaking language, if they had a regular gym routine, that would improve their language skills and the quality of the way that they learn. Because when you work on your body, you work on your brain, your mind, and you feel better. It releases good feelings. It captures that inner voice. That's
Okay.
one way people can do it. They can use the gym. Another way is to become fearless. What I teach people, which is to
Yes.
write
Yes.
down all of your fears in your life and what frightens you, because the voice usually is the one that governs the fears. It says, I'm not good enough, and I can't ask a girl out, and I can't do a public talk, and I can't learn a better language, and I can't move out of my parents, and I can't be good with people, and I can't make friends. Well, challenge it, write it down, and then start to disprove the voice. So use the voice, and don't let the voice use you, because if you let it use you, it can destroy you. It can ruin your life. So you got to control it. It's challenging for everyone. This is a lifelong practice, but
Yeah.
people can do it because there's people doing it right now in the world. You're doing it. I'm doing it. So focus on your passions,
Mhm.
and yeah, I would say a lot of positive things. I think people get caught up with negative voice when they're not taking enough action. They're sitting in their room, and that's when the voice comes in, when you're still and you're by yourself. So, don't be on your own all the time. Have a regular gym routine and be very practical. Do sports, go for a walk, exercise on a regular basis. Clean your apartment. Cleaning the
Yeah.
apartment calms the voice down. Keeping
Yeah, it
tidy,
is.
be it respect. It's a respect yourself and for people.
Mhm.
So it's living good. Lifestyle. Lifestyle affects this voice. Bad lifestyle, the worse
Bad habits.
mental health, bad health.
Well, that's great. And as we all know that you are a great, successful, and a very, very famous public speaker. And when you speak, all the people just look at you and all are ears, and they all are amazed when you speak. So, could you please tell us how to be a not just good, a great public speaker?
I think the first thing is you have to want to be a public speaker. You have to want to do it, and you have to watch other people that are great, so you can get inspiration and you can envision yourself doing it. That's the first thing that how I did it. The second one is practice. Like I said, I know I keep repeating that. It's the foundation to everything I teach and my success and
Practice.
helping others. You got to practice and start small. Start off talking in front of two people. That's what I done. Then I done four, five, then 10, 20, 30, 40. So start small and then you'll get bigger and bigger. And really, really aim to want to help others. If you really want to inspire people, they will believe you. They'll feel it and they'll listen to you. So really look to add value to other people. You're not just speaking for you. You're speaking for them. You want to give them something. So make sure whatever you speak about, it's going to add value to other people. It's not just going to benefit you. Then people will want to listen to you. They will value what you're saying because you'll help them, and then they will support you back. So um, these are the key things. But the most important is the practice. Because if you watch lots of tapes and you get inspired, but you don't go and do it, then nothing will really change for you. You won't gain confidence. So practice it, do it regularly. Last thing I'm going to say, really help people. I would say at the start of your public speaking journey, you want to be doing it regularly. So I'd say you want to create like an event, a meetup that's once a month. So you can be practicing speaking
Mhm.
once a month. This is what I do. So that's 12 talks a year. That adds up. And
Mhm.
if anyone does 12 talks, they're going to be a lot better than when they started. And I want people to focus on not, don't judge themselves on the first talk, judge yourself on the 10th talk. Because
Mhm.
by talk 10, you'll be much better.
It's better. Yeah. Well, that is really so important and very useful. And my last question to you is that, as I know that you inspired me a lot, and I remember the day when I had this, social fear of talking to people, and you said, "Karan, go and face your fear gradually." Since that day, I started facing my fear, and today I am, very social. I can talk to people at my college, and I have done many great activities, so behind that thing, I mean, besides that thing, there's one thing that comes, that is how to connect with people easily. I know that you're a great communicator. You can connect with anybody. So how to connect with anyone?
I think the key first thing is you've got to be honest with people. I think if you want to be a great communicator and you want to connect with people, you want to be genuine because a lot of people are quite scared to be genuine in case they get hurt or rejected or in case they get close to people. So
Mhm.
honest communication is important, being vulnerable, the second one I think is really is learning to listen to people when you talk to them and really wanting to get to know people and being in a mindset that you want just want to be kind and genuine. The third one I would say is actually as well is um, you know knowing who you want to connect with, because it is good if you can connect with people in general, but the reality is you're not going to get along with everyone long term, certain relationships. So you really want to focus on, you know, attracting people that are like-minded, the same way that me and you met, because we've got a common interest. So if you can find a common interest, it's very easy to connect with people. So those are all the things that are very important, and having good values, you know, because values are important. Values determine how you think when you're around people, how you act around people. So if you've got good values and you're not always thinking, oh, I want to get things from people and trick people and manipulate, people will generally like you more, and that will long last a lot longer. So these are the how I've done it. And last but not least is practice. Because as good as my values are and yours are, if I don't practice talking to people regularly, I start to get rusty and shy again and a bit anxious and a bit. It's like it's hard to get the timing right. You can't really. So you've got to practice regularly talking with people and understanding them, and then it becomes natural, you know. And then you can read people better, you can feel, and then you can just have fun and be and make people feel good and everything. So they're all the things that have really helped me, and I teach people.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's what I see. Like when people they talk to others, they wear a persona, like a mask on their face. They don't become themselves. They just try to say fake lines to them, and they get
Yeah,
confused. They try to impress people, but when we are honest, we can just be ourselves,
yeah,
and
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
we can
Yeah,
talk naturally. Yeah, all right.
exactly.
So, well, that's great, Johnny. And if people want to follow you, how can they learn more about you and how can they follow you?
All I would ask people to do is go on YouTube and type in Johnny Berba, JONNYBERB, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free, and then they can get access to all my videos, and then they can interact with me on live streams. So I'd be really grateful if people could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then I could help them long term. And if they don't like what I'm saying and it's not for them, then they can obviously not listen to my material. They can unsubscribe. But if they do like it and they like me and they get a lot of help, they can continue until they get enough confidence, and then they can go off on their own and build the success they want in their life. So just YouTube me, subscribe to the channel, and tune in for some good lessons.
Okay, Johnny, any last words for the audience?
Yeah, become fearless. Face everything that frightens you, because when you do, your life will change. It's difficult, it's uncomfortable, it's frightening, but the value that you get out of it is makes it worth it. Makes the pain worth it, the rejection, the challenges. Because if you don't face the fear, you're never going to be the best person that you can be, and the world's not going to get to receive the value that you've got and all those dreams as a kid, or everything you've been through. Make it worth it. Become fearless, and everyone can do it. Just change your mindset. Be brave, and don't be afraid to fail or succeed. Jump into the deep end, or if you can't, do it gradually. But nonetheless, face your fears, because when you do, think great things happen.
Wow, great, great. And Johnny, I'm really inspired by you as I've always been, and so will be the people who will watch this video. And I want to thank you very much. It's been an honor to have you here, and I'm really so grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I love being on the interview. The questions were great, and I know this is going to help a lot of the people that we want to speak to. So thanks, man. I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Thank you, Johnny. It's my pleasure. Have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Bye. Bye.
Okay.